Hi guys, it's Ray. Today I am going to do some of the TEMU holographic foam grip molds that I purchased. Once they're cured, we'll glue on some of our assorted colored foam grips. And then these are supposed to be holographic molds. I can barely see the holographic with my eye without pouring them, so I'm not sure how these are going to come out. But I have 300 mLs of super clear 150 and 150 tabletop epoxy. That's what I'm using for my molds. I've used it before and really liked it, so I ordered the 2-gallon kit from Amazon. Just wipe them down with a baby wipe when you're done, as best you can. I would normally say let the epoxy dry on it and then chip it off later, but being that the last time I did that, I sliced a chunk of my thumb off on dried resin, I'm going to try and remember to clean them off. So, I'm going to color this black using alcohol ink. I'm going to use the Ranger Pitch Black, even though it's not my favorite, because it's the only black currently in my craft room. So this tends to turn green in resin, but mostly this is just a bubble release. And then I'm going to use the black opaque resin dye. That's what's going to give me my actual pigment. So and I'm getting low. I do need another black pigment. I think I want to try something different though. I just haven't decided what. And I don't know why I want to try something different, because I've actually been really happy with this overall, this particular brand. So I'm just pouring these all black. The black will give these their best chance. These I do intend to pour a set in colors, because we do know the holographic will show up on color, even though it works best on with darker color. Anytime you start working with the black pigments, it's just a mess every single time. So I'm going to go ahead and start pouring a couple of the coasters. Well, I'm only doing 2 coasters, so both of the coasters. Because these foam grip ones are extremely shallow, and I don't want to be pouring from a massive cup like this into those. Just to make it a little easier to pour into the foam grip toppers. I mean, I don't even know what you would call that. These are going to take such a small amount. Okay, so I am going to let these sit overnight. I'd like to see if I can just clean that edge up. I'll let these sit overnight and dry, cure, whatever, and come back in and unmold them, and we will get the phone grips attached. I'm probably going to glue them on with E6000 if I can find my E6000 wherever I moved it to. And we'll see if these have any holographic properties. I love the size of this cup from TEMU. I just don't like mixing it in black. I find it very difficult to clean. So, but it is what it is. It's now black again. So, we'll be back. Okay, so I am finally going to unmold these. They've been sitting for a while. So I don't know if that's in the mold or if the mold is dirty, but they are definitely hollow once they are poured. Yeah, this had a little schmutz on it, but it's not the end of the world. So because these ones are so fine, I'm going to have to make sure they are super clean before I pour them. But yeah, they look good, actually. They look really good. Happy with those. And now let's see these. Same thing over here. This one doesn't look great. So this one doesn't seem to have any of those void spots like these two do. This one's got a little skip in the pattern, and I can actually see it in the, I can actually see it on the mold on this one. I'm looking at the other one. I don't see it on this one though. Interesting. This one's got a little tiny boo-boo on the edge. They're pretty cute though. I don't know, I don't see anything else on any of the other molds except for this. And I don't know if you can see that. So I'm going to, I don't know if I want to, I don't want to use the ones that are flawed. And I will re-pour a full set and see if it's actually in the mold or if it was just something on the mold. That edge is so small. Not sure if I'm going to use any of those four. But I haven't decided if I want to like E6000 these on. I'd really like a JB Weld 2-part epoxy, but I don't have any here, of course. But I don't want any, yeah, words. I don't want any adhesive, spilling out over the sides because these are a perfect fit. And on my personal phone grip on my phone right now, I glued the cap back down here and I can see where the adhesive is yellowing. So I may just mix up a tiny bit of actual epoxy and use that. To rough up the back, I'm just going to take a fairly fine sandpaper. This is a 220. And I will just that way the epoxy will be able to make a mechanical bond to this epoxy. Okay, so I'm ready to attach these. They've all been sanded and wiped off with alcohol. And this is getting very, very thick. So I'm just going to spread a thin coat. I feel like these grips are slightly too big, so I'm going to try and make sure they're lined up. So if they have a little bit of border, they have a little bit of a border all the way around. So I will definitely be pouring another run of these to test my mold better. I'll wipe the mold out and double check everything, because I feel like only that one should have been actually messed up. I'm also going to look at this mold and see if that line was in there or if this is just on top. But these are definitely hard for me to tell which mold this is just looking at the mold, but you can definitely see the hollow once they are poured with the black anyways. So, pretty cool. These are pretty cool, other than the ones that were boo-booed. But I do love the way the hollow traces itself. So, I will just let them dry. I will wipe the top off again once they're dry. And they'd be good to go on the back of a phone. So that is it. Thank you for watching more holographic molds from TEMU.